Okay, spooky season. It's upon us. You're here to help us bring on the witchy vibes with your new movie, Witch Hunt. So can you talk a little bit about the premise and what intrigued you about this movie?
First of all, witches, witchcraft. I've always been so connected to that. I mean, since I was little, my grandma was like, you come from a long line of witches. And she's always told us that growing up. When I met Elle, honestly, I really wanted to work with her. And I just loved her connection to the characters and how she really kind of, wrote them kind of based on like her sisters and, how she grew up and, being an outcast, but also, she wrote it during a very difficult time in our country, which we're not really out of. But it's really just about being an other and, not being accepted. And I really think it rings true to, people being afraid of women's power and how that's something that will never go away. And then, you have the elements of magic, which is really fun. And I really wanted to work with Elle and build that relationship. Also, it's awesome. I got to work with Elizabeth and Abby too.
Yeah, I love that you've been told like you've come from a long line of witches, because I feel like between the craft legacy, it's like, final form is coming. But do you feel like you're more drawn to like witchy roles because of that? Is that a thing?
No, I really, Elle came to me with Witch Hunt and I met with her and I was like, I totally want to do this with you. And then I booked the craft a while after I did Witch Hunt. So it was really random. And everybody's like, oh, you're just doing witch projects. And I'm like, not on purpose. But I don't mind.
I was like, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
What kind of prep do you do for a movie like this? I know when I actually talked to you for Craft Legacy and you were like in it. I
remember you
doing your witchy research. Oh, thank you.
The craft was very, it's actually funny because for Witch Hunt, I started listening to the Witch Wave podcast, Pam Grossman. I would listen to it every day on my way to work because I'd have to drive out pretty far because we filmed at the Westworld house, which is like out past LA. And I'd listen to that podcast and just, kind of, it's about how there are witches around you every day. You can be, might not even realize you're a witch, but you're a witch through your art. You're a witch through, how you write things down in your journal, how you're manifesting, conjuring. And so I was listening to Pam Grossman and, I know a lot about the Salem witch trials as well, but that was kind of like my prep for this role. And then for the craft, we actually did, we went to witch school, like full on. We learned how to chant. We learned how to do incantations, everything. And Pam Grossman was our in-person teacher. So that was kind of like a full circle, cool moment for me after Witch Hunt, because I was such a fan of hers. And she was like my witch mother mentor. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of working with great people, what my favorite franchise of all time, I think, is the Scream franchise. I watch it religiously, and you're doing a movie with Kevin Williamson. How's that? Amazing.
Yeah. So I booked that and I was like, whoa, because I've had great roles in my projects I've done before, but I've never, besides Witch Hunt, I've never had like another like lead where a story like completely revolved around my character, and this was that, and it was huge. Kevin is so sweet and so cool and very supportive, and the way that John Hyams directed the film was so unlike anything. And Kevin was really willing to like move out of that kind of like 90s Scream thing, and it's not Scream, it's a completely different ball game, but slasher fans will love it. It is really cool. I don't want to give a lot away, but I think it's coming out beginning of next year. Maybe we'll talk again. Yeah. I'm wicked excited. That was one of the hardest shoots though ever.
How come?
It was 20 nights. So it was all night shoots, and it was screaming and crying and blood and running, and just really tiring, but very, very, like, actually really fulfilling. So.
That's awesome. I can't wait. It's wild. Like, we did talk, I think it was exactly a year ago when the craft interviews were happening, which feels very close and very far away at the same time, but it was pretty closely after the Society got canceled. And that was so sad. But it's been a year, and I feel like the fan drive to revive that show, #bring back the Society, is like
has not stopped
at all, not even a little bit. Like, do you follow along with that, and what does that feel like?
I don't follow along with it, but every time I'm one of those post on Instagram, delete the app people, because Instagram is very toxic for me. It's hard. That app is difficult. But every time I log on, there's more tags of Bring Back the Society, and I think it's incredible that so many people loved that show, and I really wish that we could have given them season 2, because season 2 is going to be amazing. But, what are you going to do? The world went up in flames, and that show fell victim to it. But, it's nice to know that, like, we touched people.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite shows on Netflix, period. I loved it.
It was pretty good.
It was so good. And it's hard because it's like, everyone's kind of moved on, booked other things. It feels like it'd be hard to do it at this point, but do you feel like it could happen in any way? Or
I threw out this idea a while ago and it got canceled. I was like, well, since you have the second season written, like, why don't we do a podcast? Still hasn't happened, but maybe I'll bring it up with Chris again, because I just want people to know what happens, and maybe we could just put a button on it, but
that's what, like, did you even get all the secrets? Do you have unanswered questions still, or do you know what happened?
I know the things people want to know.
You have the secrets.
I have the secrets. I do.
When I was doing my deep dive, it's like, I'm sure a lot of people like find this at different points in their lives, but I didn't realize that your mom also raised me, because I just listened to all her characters my entire life.
Yeah.
Can you do any of the voices that she does? Like, do you have a Bobby Hill in the pocket?
Maybe. Oh God, let me see. No. Also, Bobby scared the shit out of me when I was little. I did not like the Bobby Hill voice. When my mom would do it around me, I'd be like, because she started King of the Hill when she was pregnant with me, and did it until I was 13.
Oh my gosh. So you literally like just
grew up around the show.
Heard it in the womb.
Yeah. Maybe Spinelli. Let me introduce you to Madam Fist. I can't do it. My mom's such an OG. You can't compare. No, she's the OG.
That's so fun. Well, thank you so much for your time. I feel like we've covered it all. Witch Hunt in theaters and on digital, October 1st. So it's here. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. So lovely chatting with you.
Bye.
See you on the next one.